Chris Pratt's Peter Quill, aka Star-Lord, returns as promised with his original team of misfits that include an assassin, a talking raccoon, and a much-beloved talking tree voiced by none other than Vin Diesel. But this time around, the team will also be joined by a couple of newcomers and a few old faces as Peter learns the truth of his mysterious parentage, his place in the universe, and a whole lot of surprising introspective character work in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Hi, I'm Cinematico Magnifico of AmoralCrackpot.com, and welcome to the Nightly Chill. A common and rather fair complaint about Marvel's almost otherwise beloved and welcome comic book adaptations is that the sequels almost never quite managed to live up to the promise of the first. Iron Man 2 was clunky, if not outright bad, Thor the Dark World ran out of steam almost halfway through, and Avengers Age of Ultron was a bloated if still fun mess of characters, plot lines, and utterly ham-fisted teases of what was to come. In fact, the only direct sequel that audiences and critics both seemed to receive with open arms was a pseudo-political thriller that was Captain America: The Winter Soldier. That movie not only took its little corner of the Marvel Cinematic Universe to deeper and more fun places, it did so with just the right amount of grit and long-reaching impact. And in that respect, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 might feel a little less special to some, as it takes a similar approach to its material. Instead of focusing on its bigger, flashier set pieces, which are very much that, writer-director James Gunn focuses on quieter moments that highlight its colorful cast of morose misfits and their emotional journeys. Every member of the original cast, as well as some returning characters, all somehow manage to get equal treatment in further revealing and developing the important aspects of their characters teased in the original. Peter is front and center as a grown man who finally meets his father Ego, played here by the perfectly cast Kurt Russell. Dave Bautista's Drax shines as half of the movie's comedy relief, along with Vin Diesel's now childlike Groot, but also has several somber moments where he reflects on his continued loneliness. And Bradley Cooper's animated raccoon Rocket becomes an increasingly prickly character, but also comes to understand exactly why he does that. And this is what distinguishes Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 from the approach taken by the Russo brothers in Winter Soldier. Whereas the Russos peppered a few quiet moments in their movie to highlight the cast, Gunn puts those moments front and center. Where the Russos' big set pieces were arguably the most grounded and gritty seen in a Marvel movie to date, Gunn instead makes his bigger, brighter, crazier, and yet still somehow packed with even more character moments. And at just over 2 hours, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 certainly makes good use of its runtime without ever threatening its audiences with a nearly 3-hour experience. So much quality work is packed into this time that you might be amazed that the movie wasn't somehow longer. And this may prove to be the movie's biggest and perhaps only real issue. It never really lets up. Even with its focus on smaller moments, these and the beautiful set pieces just keep right on coming. There is so much here that I started to wonder when it might ever end. The movie never had me wishing that it would end, but it did leave me a bit exhausted by the time it kicked off its explosive final act. That said, if the movie were truly faulty in the way it was paced, or somehow lacked in its trademark humor and style, or simply was boring at any given moment, I probably would have wanted it to end sooner. But it never came across as weak or lacking. As dense or calorie-rich as the movie may be, it's never excessive, never in need of a trim, and always fun and engaging. If there was ever a movie that felt like it over-delivered on a great deal for dollar-per-minute enjoyment, James Gunn's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is very much that movie. And as the summer blockbuster season kicks off in full, one that is guaranteed to be filled with big, bloated movies that may be too big and too bloated for their own good, you would be best served by chilling with Star-Lord and company, if for no other reason than seeing such a big, deep movie done right, and perhaps setting the benchmark for the entire summer season to come. That's gonna do it for us tonight on the Nightly Chill. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and follow, and also be sure to leave me any questions, comments, suggestions for future reviews, and maybe even discuss today's movie at greater length. And as always, this video is brought to you in part by our viewers. If you'd like to learn how to support this and other projects, please visit AmoralCrackpot.com or check the description below. But until next time, y'all need to make like a tree and get out of here.